Hello guys, today we'll be discussing how you can generate free SSLs for your SSL certificates for your website. Yes, there is actually a company that is issuing free SSL certificates for websites, and I'm going to walk you through how you can achieve that in this video. So let's jump right into it. Now, the name of the company is called Let's Encrypt. You might have heard of the name, you might have come across it on the web. What they do is that they provide free certificates for websites, and on their website here it says a non-profit certificate authority providing TLS certificates to 450 million websites. So if you check their about us page here, you can see that one of their key principles is that anyone who owns a domain name can use Let's Encrypt to obtain a trusted certificate at zero cost. Now, personally, I have used this service and I can say it is actually working. So let's get right into how you can generate yours and secure a website for free. So in this video, we are going to be using a software called SatBot. So SatBot is a software developed by Let's Encrypt to enable you to generate a certificate for your online website. So head over to this page. I'm going to be dropping the link down in the comment section and download your software. So once downloaded, install it and you run it. In order to run it, just open your command line interface here and type SatBot. Once you type SatBot, it will generate an error for us. Now it says SatBot doesn't know how automatically to configure the web server and so on. So this means that the software is working. It is working perfectly. So we just have to supply it with the right command. If you type SatBot and you are getting an error like command is not recognized, then you have not installed it properly. Another thing you should note is that before firing up your command line interface, you make sure that you are running it as an administrator, because this software needs to make some changes to your PC that only an administrator account can make. So remember to fire it up and run it as an administrator. So to do that, just come to your Windows search bar here, and once you type the name here, you have run as administrator. So you click on this option and you get this window. So let's proceed. So now in our case, for the sake of this video, we'll be using Namecheap. So we have the website already hosted on Namecheap. So once you get to Namecheap, locate your cPanel and go to the security section. Once you're in the security section, click on the SSL TLS, and when you get there, it will give you an interface to manage your SSL certificate. So just click on manage SSL sites right here below, and once you click on that, it's going to list all available domains that have been connected to this account. So when we scroll down here, you see all the domains listed on this account. We're going to be using one domain as an example, so you can replicate the process on your own. And this process is fairly much the same with other hosting providers like GoDaddy, Hostinger, One-on-One, and the likes. So you probably don't need to deviate too much from what we say in this video, because most of these services use cPanel for their hosting. So we are going to be generating a certificate for this domain name aekscf.org. So let's start right now. So in order to generate the certificate, we need to run certain commands on the SatBot software. So we type SatBot sat only manual preferred challenges HTTP. So what it is saying is, here we are invoking the SatBot software. We are telling it to only generate a certificate for us. We are switching the mode to manual verification, of course, and we are saying that the challenge we would like the software to give us is to be based on HTTP connection. That is, the site must the website must have already been hosted and running on the HTTP, the hypertext transfer protocol. So if the website is running through this protocol but the website doesn't have a certificate yet, then we can come here and generate a certificate for it, so that instead of HTTP it will now be HTTPS. So once you've written down this command, you click on enter and to take you to the next step. Now you should note that for users of Linux or Mac PC, the command will probably be different, so you should be sure to check out the command based on the operating system you are using. So next it says please enter the domain names you would like on your certificate, comma or space separated, enter C to cancel. So let's enter the domain name we want to secure, akscf.org and www.akscf.org. Now these are the same domains, and there's a reason for putting it this way. We want to say that the certificate is valid for the domain if it is entered like this, and it is also valid for the domain if it is entered with a www prefix in front of it. So you hit enter and you start the challenge here. Now the software is giving us another instruction here that says create a file containing just this data. This is the data. It's like random test, right? And it says make it available on your web server at this URL. So we have this URL generated for us. So all we have to do is we go to our cPanel file manager, we locate the directory for this website, we create this directory .wellknown. Inside the .wellknown, we create another directory that one is ACME challenge, and then we make this file name available. We are going to do that shortly, so let's just get started with that. So to access your file manager, just locate the file manager section under your cPanel. We have it here, so let's open it up. Now it might take some time to load depending on the files you have or depending on your network, but to surely bring it out. So let's locate the root directory for akscf.org. Here we have it, and once you click on it to enter, you see I've already created the required directories. So as you can see here, it says akscf.org, well-known, ACME challenge, and the name of the file. So I have my well-known folder and the ACME challenge folder. Now there are already some files here. They are not useful. They are for previous verification to generate SSL certificates. So let's just delete them and let's create a new one. You see the little plus icon on the top left corner of the screen. You see file here. So new file, just press new file and it will ask you to give your file a name. So the name of the file has been generated for us here. So let's just copy this, right click to copy and come back here, paste it with Ctrl V and click on create new file. Now the file will be created for you, but it has no data in it, so that's why the size is 0 bytes. So right click, select the file and right click on it and click on edit. So click on edit here and go back to your command line interface and copy this line. This is the data that is required of us to put into the file. So right click to copy and paste it inside here. Now after that, click on save changes and you have success displayed at the bottom of the screen. That means that we've created the file and we've put some data in it successfully. So cancel that. We are done with that. So now once you've done with this step, remember, do not close your CMD during this process. Once you've done with this step, click on enter to continue. Now there's another challenge again for us. So it's like it's asking us to create another file. So the same process we did earlier, we are going to repeat it. So we copy the file name as we did in the previous step. Click on create file, paste it here with Ctrl V. We click on create new file. So as with the previous step, we also have no data yet in it. So in order to put some data in it, select it and click on edit. So click on edit and go back to your CMD to copy the data that will be inside. So for this challenge, this is the data. So you right click to copy it and you paste it here with Ctrl V. You select save changes. So once the changes have been saved, cancel that tab. We don't need it any longer. So it's asking us to press enter to continue. Please note that if you haven't completed the challenge at any step, you shouldn't press enter to continue, because pressing enter to continue means that the software, the chatbot software, will go to your domain and verify that that file is there and that it is actually accessible. So you make sure that your web is accessible on port 80 before this can work, because if your website is not accessible, if the public part of your website is not accessible to this software, then it won't be able to verify that the file is actually there. So, and if that is not possible, then the software will generate an error for you. So click on continue. So after clicking on continue, it will scan for the file, and once the file has been located, then it will take us to the next step. Now, successfully received certificate. So our certificate has been issued to us. Now it will be available on our system. I'll show you the location later on in this video. So it's telling us that certificate is saved at c-chatbot live akscf.pem and the likes. So now the file has been generated for us. The file necessary to create our certificate is now residing on our system. Now, next step, it is telling us under this section that this certificate will not be renewed automatically. So what that means is that you have to do this process every 3 months when the certificate expires. So now, for the next 90 days, the certificate will be active, but at the expiration, you have to come back here and do this step again and again and again. So that's what this is all about. So let's go back to our cPanel SSL section, and we click on update certificate. See the link here, update certificate. So let's click on it. Now what that does is it automatically selects the domain here. After selecting the domain, then you would fill the information. Now how would you get this information? Let's start by coming over here. We open our file manager. After opening our file manager, we come to the C folder. In the C folder, you see a folder named chatbot. Click on it. Now you see account, archive, library, live, log, renewal. Just come to this archive directory. Inside the archive directory, depending on the certificate you've generated, you'll see a list of websites that. So we have the one we just did now is akscf.org. So let's come right into it. Now we have these files. So since I've generated certificates for this site before, so those certificates are still on my PC, but in order to view the ones that we've just generated, let's look at the dates here. This is 8/14/2024, so we have Cert4 as our certificate. So open this file with Notepad. and once it is opened, you can copy the content and paste it in your SSL manager online. So copy it here. Now once you've copied this, come to your cPanel interface, and under the certificate box just paste it inside. Now once you've pasted it here, it will analyze it and generate something for you down here. You see domains aeksf.org, www.aeksf.org, just as we've specified earlier when instructing the software. So it's telling us that the issuer is let's encrypt. We have the information for the key here, and it's telling us that this certificate will expire on November 12, 2024 by 10:27:46 a.m. So now this certificate is fully working. For cPanel to recognize, or for cPanel to display this information, it shows that this certificate is working. Now we need the private key so that we can fully activate the certificate. How do we get the private key? So we go back to our file manager here, and there is a private key 4 here also. So this was generated today. So we open it with Notepad as usual and copy the content. After copying the content, we paste it inside the private key section. Now with this information, now our certificate is complete. So all we have to do now is just click this certificate authority bundle. In most cases there's no need for it, because the server will just fetch it from a public repository. So you see, in most cases you do not need to supply the CA bundle, because the server will fetch it from a public repository during installation. So we don't need it. That is why it is not included in our bundle here. As you can see, there is no CA bundle here. We only have the certificate and the key. So let's proceed to installation. Install certificate, and you wait a little bit for it to be installed. So here you have it. You have successfully updated the SSL website certificate. So it is now active. So this domain is protected. This and the other one we specified earlier. So that's just it. So this is it. We've successfully generated a certificate for a domain name that is active for 3 months. So if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. And as you can see here, instead of 8/30/2024, the date has changed. The certificate expiration date has changed to 11/12/2024. That is the 12th of November 2024. So that's it, guys. That's how you generate a free SSL for your website every 3 months. Thank you. Bye.